Hey everybody, John Lavinia here. It is Sunday afternoon where I am, and I wanted to shoot a quick video because I got a great reminder about success from a book that I was reading, one of the books that I'm reading right now, The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol, which is a bit of a classic. Incidentally, this book was recommended to me by a guy named Earl Nightingale, who some of you may have heard of. He's the guy who recorded The Strangest Secret, and in that recording, that classic recording from 1960 or whenever he recorded that, he said, read books that instruct and inspire, like the Bible, Wake Up and Live by Dorothea Brande, if you can still find a copy, The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. And you know what? For years I heard, because I've listened to that recording hundreds, probably well over 1,000 times. And I never had a copy of this book, so I picked one up. I was like, well, and a lot of it's the same sort of philosophy. However, Claude Bristol gets into it from a businessman's very pragmatic, from that sort of a standpoint. Anyway, I got a great reminder out of this book, and it's just 3 sentences. That's it, 3 sentences, and I wanted to share them with you. So happy Sunday. Here we go. This is in the chapter on how to project your thoughts. It says here, success is a matter of never ceasing application. You must forever work at it diligently. Otherwise, it takes wings and fly away. That's it. Those are the 3 sentences. But in that, it was like, whoa. It reminded me, well, I'll tell you what it reminded me of here in just a second. But the first thing I was thinking about was how easy it is to get complacent. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm surviving and, I'm doing well. And you probably are too, right? I mean, you've got internet access. You're watching this right now, right? You're not being chased through the jungle by, tigers and fear of your life and having it threatened 15 times a day, which is how people used to live, right? So we're doing okay. But the that also breeds complacency, right? Where now I'm comfortable because it's not, an act of desperation for me to succeed. And so I want you to consider that. It's certainly something I consider is, am I okay in like some sort of a comfort zone or something? You know what, if I get okay with it, if I'm not never ceasing in my application, and the application, of course, the title of this book, The Magic of Believing, the application we're talking about is the application of will, the use of thought, right? So the mental faculty of will, purpose of which is to choose the right thoughts. That's what he's talking about. Success is a matter of never ceasing application. We could also refer to the Bible, right, where Paul wrote to pray without ceasing. That's what he meant, right? To be constantly thinking on things of good report, as as it was said in the Bible there. So, and we can pull from all different scripture and Eastern thought and Western thought, and I've been studying this stuff for 3 decades. So, but here's what it also reminded me of: another biblical story, Old Testament, which is David and Goliath. Okay, now I want you to think about this. If you've got what seems like an insurmountable problem, right? Like in the story of David and Goliath. Here was Goliath, who was like this big brute of a warrior, and nobody could defeat him, allegedly. And then David, which was I guess a boy at the time, and he just knew that there were some rewards for taking out Goliath, and the rewards were, and this is something that people don't talk about too often in when studying that story, but the rewards were, as I understand it, that he would marry the princess and live tax-free for the rest of his life. I mean, right there, do whatever you got to do, right? So anyway, all the other soldiers who were, I suppose, more trained than him, or maybe more experienced, they were all, fearful of Goliath. And but David just kept asking, "No, what's that reward again? What do I get if I kill Goliath? Oh, I get the princess. Yeah, tell me about the princess again. And what about this tax-free, for the rest of my life, right?" He just kept thinking, never ceasing, kept thinking about what the rewards were of that, not the insurmountable object, right? But the rewards of surmounting it. And so, of course, throughout this book, Claude Bristol gives us some techniques that we can use. Of course, one is the gold card, right, which is a very well known throughout the personal development circles. Another one is the mirror technique, which I thought was really awesome. In fact, I don't know, that may be a new idea that I have not gotten anywhere else. I've certainly heard of people using mirrors to observe themselves when they're practicing their presentation, if they're in sales or public speaking or stuff like that. But the way he described it in this book was definitely worth the read. I think you can get a used one on eBay for like $3. I think I got this on eBay. Anyway, but the idea here is that we're using devices, tools. I've got stuff hanging on the side walls here of my office to remind me without ceasing. Right, every time I look up, I see something that is conducive to what's called autosuggestion. Right, so autosuggestion would be deciding for myself, choosing for myself what thoughts I want to consistently enter my mind. The opposite of that would be just being, suggestible by everything else in your environment. Maybe not by your choice. Usually not. Right. Usually just what other people think or regurgitate. They're not really thinking, but whatever people say. Criticisms, and fear and doubt. We see a lot of this in in the markets too. With people who are into trading. There's a book called Trading in the Zone. Right, where people are investing and trading and stuff like this, and getting yourself into an emotional state where you're not easily influenced by things that are not profitable for you to be influenced by. So where am I going with all this? Where I'm going with all this is to, I guess, we teach what we most need to learn, right? Constant diligence, constant, never ceasing application of principles that we know work. Right? Well, maybe you don't know, but now you can know, right? Go ahead and try it out for yourself, right? Think on your goal. Think on the image of your great good that you seek, having already been accomplished, right? And then just watch out for the comfort zone, right? Because let's say you're successful, right? Like I've been successful in life. That's cool. But now what? Rest on our laurels? Oh, no. What did he say here? What was the third sentence? Otherwise, it takes wings and flies away. Well, that's not fun. Right, especially in the modern age. This was written in 1943, I think, sometime around there. But especially in the modern age, they didn't have the internet. 1948. Right, so this is post-war, post-Second World War era stuff, and booming economy and all that. Right, so consider that. Consider what you can do, and I will continue to consider what I can do in addition to the things I do. To pray without ceasing, so to speak, right? To think on those things of good report and to shut out things that are counterproductive or countersuggestive to where I want to go. Anyway, thought this video would be a minute and a half. Just share a little blip. We're at 8 minutes. I'm going to stop talking. If you guys like to give me any ideas, if you want me to, I'm thinking about rekindling a book of the week club or something, or just maybe read some stuff to you if you want. Got some ideas for some cool new stuff to do on social media, but that's what I'm into. I'm into success and assisting people and doing that as well. So hope this video finds you well. Hope you're enjoying your weekend or whenever you see this. Okay, go succeed. You deserve it. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.